Hello, everybody. Welcome to lesson 5. So today's list is shorter, and that might come as a relief to some of you. I feel like I've been throwing a lot of vocabulary at you. But there'll be time to talk about other things probably, or maybe we'll end a little early. We'll see. I assume you've all looked at your vocabulary. We'll talk about the next parameter later on when we get to the emotions part of the lesson. And feel free to put any questions in the chat box. We'll start with clothing. So a shirt is a shirt. You just kind of pull on your shirt. It's also the sign for volunteer. But again, you're going to have context to help you determine what that is. Here. Pants. You would sign by standing up and signing pants. Pants. And while I'm standing here, let me also do underwear, which is kind of, it's like the outline of your underpants. So underwear, pants, underwear. Diapers happen in the same place. Don't expect you to need to know those at school too much anyway, but if you do, there's diapers. All right. Shoes. Take your two fists like an S and bang them together. Shoes. Shoes. Socks are pointers turned over and pointed down at your feet, alternating, rubbing against each other. I think of them as kind of my legs rubbing against each other when I have nice fluffy socks on. If you were to turn socks upside down, you have stars. No relationship between socks and stars that I know of, but that's how that goes. So shirt, pants, shoes, socks, underwear. Bra is across your chest, kind of like underwear, you know, so it's just indicating a band. Hat. Coat. It's like you're putting on your coat. It's your thumbs going down. This could be for sweatshirt, like a heavy sweatshirt as well. Pajamas is compound sign, if you want to call it. So it's sleep clothes. Sometimes people sign PJs, but mostly it's pajamas. And that becomes one sign. Sleep clothes. Anybody else has any question about other clothes? You know, these vocabulary lessons are, it's a lot of vocabulary, but it's also really limited. So if there are other things that you think of that you want to have added in, I was just kind of headed for the general categories of clothing. So contacts, boots and shoes, gloves and mittens. Good questions. Okay, boots and shoes. Shoes, like your S, boots are one tap and then you hit up. So it's kind of like shoe, and then this becomes your shoe, and here's your boot, the top of your boot. Does that make sense? Kind of indicated a higher shoe, boot. Contacts are your middle finger, boom, boom. To each eye, but not in your eye. Gloves and mittens. Gloves and mittens are the same sign. So you have your hand, you take your dominant hand, your non-dominant hand, take your dominant hand and you pull it on. Pull it on. And if you were doing gloves, you could do this because you'd be able to see once you put on your gloves, right? And a mitten you'd put on and you'd do kind of like a mitten shape. You can also spell glove and mitten, but gloves. Another sign that's kind of close to that and would be clear with context, but I'll tell you just because we're in that area, is if you put on your gloves or your mittens, make sure you only go to your wrist, because if you go further, then that's a sign for rolling up your sleeves and getting ready to work. And the context might not necessarily be clarifying to a child. So, gloves and mittens, rolling up your sleeves, getting ready to work. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. All right, put on and take off. So if you're gonna put on your coat, you're gonna put on your shirt, your clothes, you're gonna put on your pants. If you're gonna take them off, take off your coat, take off your shirt, take off your pants, your socks, off. O-F-F becomes off. Let me do it in the black, off. Hat, off. Coat or shirt, off. Socks, off. And to change. So people talk about changing their pants, changing their clothes, changing their diapers. There are two ways to do that. One is, this is the sign for change. It's kind of like you take a little pincer grasp, you put your knuckles, your palms facing each other, and you go this to this. From one way to the other way. Change. Now this change represents a conceptual change. So it's not really a literal change. So if you say change your socks, what am I changing them into? A frog? A mess? Change. But nonetheless, it is one that is used. The conceptually correct one would be to take, all right, so you make, your eyes thing, and you put one in front of the other, and you exchange them. In other words, you're exchanging one thing for another. So if you were going to change your socks, change them. Your shirt, change it, because you're exchanging one for another. So that matches up conceptually with the sign. However, you are going to see people say, change diapers, change shoes. I would encourage you to use the one for the other. But that is going to be understood and accepted as well. Glasses, that's one I forgot about. Glasses are, you take your little wake up and close eyes and you pull them this way. So glasses. Glasses, contacts, glove, mittens, boots, shoes, put on and take off. That sounds pretty good. Raincoat, raincoat. Umbrella, though whoever uses those. Umbrella would be like pushing it up. Did we do backpack? Backpack. You know, backpack. Dress is all the way down. Dress. And skirt. Skirt is just kind of, you know, a grabbing in at your waist, or tapping in with your hands this way. I think that covers it. Throw anything else up there if you think of something. Okay, moving into, I'm going to skip to do people and save emotions for last. So moving over to people, start with mom. Mom. Broad hand, mom. Dad, same. Remember way back we talked about masculine and feminine signs. So masculine signs are from the nose up and feminine are from the nose down. So you're going to see mom and dad are the same sign, but the location is the one that determines what it is. Same with grandmother. You're going to take the mom and bump it out one generation. Dad, grandfather, goes out one generation. If you want to talk about your grandparents, as in plural, you do both at the same time. If you want to talk about your parents, however, you do mom, dad. Go figure. Grandmother, grandfather, and then one hand up for each for grandparents. Great-grandparents would go one more. So you just do one bounce per generation. There's a question about step-parent. So a step-parent is a finger that goes across your nose. So stepmom would be stepmom. Stepfather. Aunt is an A. Evil stepmother. Ooh, that's a question. Okay, so evil stepmother. Then here's where you get to use your face and say evil. Evil stepmother. Like in those stories, right? Evil. This is the, you know, devil kind of, you know, monster. So you would do an evil step parent that way. You are welcome. Thank you for asking the question. Okay. So stepmother, stepfather, aunt. A, it's feminine, so it's down below. A on your chin. A. Uncle, masculine, so it's going to be up above, right? And it's a U, this or somewhere up in here. Either tap in your head or just kind of right nearby. Uncle. Brother and sister. So are going to be girl, same, or boy, same. So here's girl, thumb along your chin line, your jawline. And boy is like a baseball cap. And since you're brother and sister, you're from the same family or same parents. So there's girl, same. This is same, like exactly the same. 2 pointers next to each other. I don't know if we've talked about that before. Sorry if we haven't. And boy, same. As it is used, that is the technically correct way to sign it. As it is used, however, it ends up being like this. So it goes girl, boom. Boy, boom. This is also the sign for right, as in correct. So you have one, you have a 1 on top of another 1, boom. So sister, even though technically it's this, comes into play functionally like this. So sister and brother. Cousins is a C. And so there's a C, a girl cousin would be down by your chin. And a boy cousin is up for your, up in the masculine area. There was a question about whether or not it's okay to do this or this. Yep, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. I don't bring that up to confuse you. I bring that up because when you are formally learning, you're going to be taught this, but really what you're going to see most of the time is this. So, mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, grandfather, grandmother, girl cousin, boy cousin, friend. Take your 2 ones, face them towards each other, and make X's. Here's where we get into a little bit of inflection and description of your experience. So this sign is a little unique in that friend, the degree of friendship is conveyed by how you sign this. So somebody who's a friend, an acquaintance, a friend, is just a little tap. Somebody who is your best friend, your fingers kind of wrap around each other and you emphasize it. Somebody who is a good friend, casual friend, they can wrap around a little bit. And your facial expression is also going to convey what kind of a friend that is. So, you're playing it cool. Oh, my neighbor? Yeah, we're friends. But you want to say that my best friend is coming over? Oh, my best friend is coming over. Or, are you guys friends? Yeah. Best. Like this, there's a question about what is best. Best friend, if you're talking about best friend, your fingers wrap around each other and then you emphasize that movement as friendship and you put a really earnest look on your face. If you're talking about the sign for best, it is across here and up. So it's kind of like good to the top, good to the max. That's best. Not quite sure what your context is there, but that's okay. Okay, police is a C on your shoulder, like their badge, police. Doctor is a D on your, where you get your pulse taken, the inside of your wrist. Doctor. Nurse is an N in the same place. And medical in general, if you're just talking about medical care, I went to the doctor, and not a specific doctor, I went and got some medical care, you would just do you would make a B hand and just tap your fingers there. So this would be kind of general medical. A teacher is somebody who teaches, so teach. You take things out of your head and put them out there into the world, plus the agent sign, so teacher. And a babysitter is someone who takes care of. So babysitter, caregiver, they're the same thing. And that is the sign for, I don't know if we've talked about the sign for be careful, but make K's. Put them on top of each other. This is the sign for take care. Like, oh, take care. Be careful. Watch out. Be careful would go in a circle. It's kind of more of a warning or an instruction, direction, rather than, oh, be careful. Be careful. And so somebody who cares is a care person. So a babysitter, care provider. Okay. Now let's, I wanted to talk a little bit about behavior, the little tip that I have, stalling versus distraction or lack of focus. One of the things that I see in classrooms, and the classrooms especially is where I see it the most. It happens sometimes when you see deaf kids in the context of family or play situations. But one of the things that people often say is, oh, you know, they're really off task. They don't pay attention well. They stall in starting their work. And so their behavior is seen as a behavioral problem. And I would encourage you to take a second look at that and say, are they stalling, or did they not hear the entire instruction? And are they not sure what it looks like to get started? For instance, I have often seen a teacher give instructions to a student, and then that student, like kids are all in a group, or they're all paying attention, and the teacher says, I want you to get out your paper and your pencil and draw me a picture that goes with your story, and it needs to have, you know, these many colors, this many elements. Make sure that you add that description in there, blah, 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 blah. So it's a worthwhile explanation, but there's a lot of stuff embedded in there. And then the teacher says go, and the class goes to their tables, their desks, or whatever, gets out their materials and starts working. And then oftentimes the hard of hearing child will ask to go to the bathroom, or will sharpen their pencils, or will start playing with something else, or will make 15 trips across the room to get another piece of paper, or a crayon of a different color on the other side of the room, or sit there and do nothing. You know, older students would kind of do nothing. And they are actually watching what everybody else is doing because they didn't get all of the instruction. So, yes, someone's made a comment about similar with students who have attention ADHD. They miss the instructions. It's kind of, you know, a different reason, but it's the same thing. It's not that they are not wanting to, it's that they don't have enough information. And yet if you say to them, hey, did you get that instruction? Do you know what you're supposed to be doing? They're going to say, yep, heard every word. And they will have heard every word that they heard. But it doesn't mean that they understood all of it or that they got all of those words. So sometimes it's really helpful to break those instructions down and make them visual. Not because they aren't capable, but because they aren't hearing everything. And they haven't had enough incidental learning when they're not overhearing their peers enough to make up for only hearing the instruction once. So a good strategy is to write something down on the board, hand something out, or pair them up with somebody to get them started. Or ask a clarifying question. Tell me what you know you're supposed to do now, and see if they can repeat it back to you. And if they can't, then just help them fill in the blanks. I had a teacher write to me this week and say, I was asking that teacher to fill out some information about whether or not they felt like their student was hearing them. And this is a middle school student. Middle school student repeatedly told their teacher that they had all the information they needed to do their work. But the teacher was surprised that the work never aligned with what the student was saying. And so the teacher felt like the student wasn't telling the truth. And yet the student had perfect behavior. So how it was perplexing to her that the student had this perfect behavior, and reported that he had all of the information he needed to complete an assignment, and yet his behavior and engagement and work never matched up with what he said. And the reason is he's not hearing all of the information, and he doesn't know that he's not hearing all the information because he's not hearing all the information. So it's just a real point of vulnerability with students in your classroom who are in the midst of this hearing environment with people who have other students who have heard the context with which this work is happening a million times, as opposed to the 1 or 2 times that the deaf student has heard, and are having difficulty getting settled in to do their work because they're not sure how to start or what exactly is being asked of them. So they need enough other students to be seeing what they're doing in order to get the full concept and get started on their work. So reach out to them and offer them a repetition, offer them a visual guide, and ask them clarifying questions that require them to demonstrate that they have understood your words, because they want to please you and do their work well, just like everybody else. Okay, now we're going to move on to emotions. Emotions, there are a lot of them. So happy. Happy. You're just running your hands up your chest, kind of like please, same palms, only happy. And here's where your parameter comes in. If you're going to say that you're feeling happy, it's not happy. That's a conflict. So happy goes with a happy face. And sad, like your face falling, goes with a sad face. Oh, that's sad. You don't have to be sad, but you have to demonstrate or express sadness. Oh, sadness. There's a question as to whether or not this lesson is being recorded. It is. So you'll be able to reference it later. Mad. So there are kind of a few different levels of mad. So the sign for mad is you take your hand, put your palm towards your face, and you put it into a claw. And you make a mad face. Mad. If you're crabby, you make a crabby, kind of a uncomfortable face, and you do this back and forth, crabby. If you're really angry, You take your claw hands, you put them on your chest, and you go up. And you make an angry face that is more than just mad. And if you are really angry, you put your whole body into, your whole upper body into it, and you make your arms go out further. And if somebody is throwing a tantrum because they're so upset, you'd say they're mad and they blew their lid. So here's your container, here's your lid. And you gotta do that face too. Crabby, mad. Oh, crabby, mad, angry, super angry, and blow your lid. The opposite of that, what you would say to somebody is, calm down. So if somebody's blowing their lid, put your hands out and you just do this, calm down. Calm down. Excited. So you have these things called feeling fingers. So a lot of signs that have to do with emotions use your middle fingers. So you bend your middle fingers down and you're excited. It's kind of like happy, except it's alternate and it's just your middle finger. Excited. And you get an excited look on your face, anticipation. I'm so excited. Frustrated. This is a B hand shape. Up against your chin. Kind of like your face keeps hitting something. Feel. To feel something, feel an emotion is use your finger feeling and you just do it in the middle. Just in the middle of your chest. Up. Feel. And you could say, I feel happy. My feelings is repeated. So again, it's kind of that verb is the one tap, and a noun is a multiple tap. Unless you're kind of holding your spot. How am I feeling? I'm feeling, and then you would explain how you're feeling. If you wanted to ask somebody else how they're feeling, you would get a question mark look on your face, which means you raise your eyebrows and you lean in a little bit and you do feeling while you're looking at somebody, which is, how are you feeling? Or you could say, you're feeling what? This is the sign for feeling what? Someone's asking if you would use the question mark finger. If you're just asking somebody how they're feeling, probably not so much. Probably not, because it's gonna be obvious from your face. Feeling, tell me. Tell me. This is to tell. Tell me. So tell me, you're feeling what? If you have if you have a specific language that you use in your classroom about emotions and how you move from one to another, and like some classrooms use that, you know, zones or colors or whatever, you would just use that. You could say, you know, calm down. Let's, you know, we need green, we need blue, we need, you know, we don't want red. You know, whatever that range is. So you would add some modifiers to that. So happy, sad, mad, cry, cry. Somebody's crying just a little bit or a hint of it, you could use 1. If they're really crying, use 2. And if they're sobbing, blah, lots of tears, blah. I'm coming down their eyes. Cranky, excited, I missed that one. Frustrated, frustrated. Surprised is like wake up. Woo! Surprise! It's like wake up, only faster and really close to your face. Surprise! Hungry. You're gonna take your hand like you're holding a piece of pizza or pie or something, and you're dragging it down like this from your neck, base of your neck towards your gut. I'm hungry. Thirsty. You take your index finger and draw it from your chin down your throat. Thirsty. Disappointed. Take your pointer. Disappointed. Tired. I think we've done this. Hands flat, tired. Just roll them down. Fingertips. Tired. And slump when you do it. Tired. Motivated. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm gonna roll my hands. And you say, ready, motivated. Ready is the R's, remember? Thrilled. Woo! I'm thrilled. It's kind of like excited, only all at once. Everything you got. Sick. Sick. So you put 1 middle finger on your forehead, 1 in the center of your chest. Sick. Bored. I love this sign. So, you know the sign for I love you or airplane. You're going to do it on your nose. Blech. Bored. Bored. You can also not do the whole thing. You could just kind of do bored with just your index. But technically it's with everything. And just make sure you don't look like you're picking your nose, okay? That's bad. So index on your nose. Think Santa. Put his finger aside of his nose. All right, exhausted, exhausted. You have 2 fists, A hands, up to your chest, because this is the heart of where all your energy is, and you have given all of it. So it's all come out. Just exhausted, empty. Stunned. So stunned is stunned, shocked. It's kind of It's kind of a cerebral, more of a cerebral emotion. So start with thought and paralyzed. Like thought, boom. It's just your hands down, your claw hands down. Ugh. And you got to do this. Ugh. Seriously, you do. So it's your inflection, and it's part of the grammar. If you, otherwise you're talking in a robot voice and nobody has any idea what you're talking about. So if there's ever a place for you to really add in your facial expressions, it's with emotions, because that tells somebody how you're feeling, what you're thinking, and what you're trying to communicate to them. And it clarifies what you want from them in return as well. So same as, well, let me do these last three and then I'll launch into that. Strong. Strong is, you take your hands, you grab your energy and you hold it. Very much like, right? Only don't do that. But, you know, strong. And really strong. Whoa. Strong. Weak. Take your non-dominant hand, take the fingers of your palm face down on your dominant hand, and you move them into here and you have them crumple. So something's weak. They just kind of bounce against there. They don't stand up, they give. So it's weak. Love, love. Just love. Hate. So you're going to take your thumb and your middle finger like you're going to flick something away. And you're going to get the worst look on your face and you're going to flick it. Hate. I hate that. I hate a mess. I hate olives. I hate asparagus, whatever it is. Just I hate. Blah. So all of these signs, you can make basically a whole sentence just on how, just by how you produce them. So if we're going to go to, let's start with hate. So, oh, I hate that. I hate that. Or I hate that. Blah. I love something. Love. Okay, so there's a question about sarcasm. This is where you can get into, you can have some fun and you can also get into trouble. And this is why it really matters. Because if you want to say to somebody, oh, I'm just thrilled about that. Woohoo! Or you could say, great. Yeah, isn't that thrilling? You can tell from my face that is not what I'm feeling. I'm being sarcastic. Yeah. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And that's what you're conveying. So you really got to pay attention if you want to come across as credible. All right. So It's going back to the beginning of emotions again. Oh, it's 3:20. Dang. All right. Review, and we'll build in some of that into the review. Shirt, pants, shoes, socks, underwear. So you just do the shape of your underwear. Bra, across your chest. Hat, coat, thumbs, whoosh, like you're putting on a coat. Then you can zip it too. Hold the bottom and go zip. Put on your coat, zip it up. Gloves, mittens, boots, pajamas, happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm so happy. You need to do that with your face. That delivers and tells somebody the intensity of your feeling, and it gives the grammar and the pronunciation and the context. It's everything. Otherwise, it's flat. Sad. Really sad. Oh, so sad. Use your body. Lean in or lean back. Mad. Crabby. Angry. Super angry. Blow your lid. Calm down. Cry. Super crying. Excited. Excited. Frustrated. Really frustrated. Oh. Don't bang your chin, but move it back as if you did. Surprise. 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 Wow, surprise. Boom. Hungry. Oh, here we go. We'll start off with just hungry. Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm starving. Both your hands. So hungry. Thirsty. Thirsty. I'm thirsty. Okay. Disappointed. Oh, so disappointing. Oh. Head nod. Disappointing. Lack of eye contact. Disappointed. Tired. Tired. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired. Tired. Really tired. I'm exhausted. Ugh. Motivated. Thrilled. Wow. Thrilled. Sick. Sick. Somebody's sick? Sick. They've been sick for a long time. This loop, it's a repetitive loop. Sick, 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 sick. Or suddenly very sick. Sick. Or wow, really sick. Oh. Sick. Generally, people just get sick. Bored. Bored. Stunned. Strong. Weak. Look at my face. Weak. It's not usually a good thing. Love. Love. Love that. Hate. 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 Blah. Mom. Dad. Sister. Brother. Aunt. Uncle. Grandmother. Grandfather. Grandparents. Girl cousin. Boy cousin. Friend. Friend. Your head's nodding, your fingers wrapping around. It's a good solid friend. Oh, best friend. Police. Doctor. D. Nurse with an N. And general medical, just with your bent hand. Teacher. Babysitter. Babysitter. I'm going to circle back for a few questions about a couple other emotions. So, scared, that's a good one. Scared. You take your fists and you put them out. Shoot your fingers out in front of you. Scared. Now, of course, I'm not signing it correctly, right? Because I'm just doing this. It's totally flat. Scared. Scared, wiggle your hands. The whole continuum. Scared, proud. That's a good one. So you take your thumb, fist with your thumb up, and you drag your thumb your chest. Proud. And you get a proud look on your face. Proud. Silly, and you take a Y hand shape and you go up your nose. Silly. Somebody's silly. Somebody's silly. Somebody's crazy silly. And you make it really wobbly and you use two hands. And so that is the end of our lesson today. I'll see you back here for lesson 6. Thanks for coming, everybody. Bye.